friends, happy Monday. As always, I read a lot last week. I have been thankfully, can I show them all? I have been thankfully reading through some of what I borrowed from the library, and then I've also been working on my TBR. So let's get talking about everything that I read and just how the video's gonna hopefully go. I'll introduce the book and the genre and the demographic. I'll give a brief recap of what it's about, of what it's about, and then I will give my thoughts on them. So hopefully I can be consistent with that in this video because I tend to ramble. But okay, let's get started. And in no particular order, we're starting off with this one, which is a library borrow. It's called My Oh My Atami-kun. In English, I think there's about 3 volumes published, Japanese 4, I will double check. And this one is a BL seinen series, as far as I can tell. So it's targeted towards older men. But again, read what you want. The demographics really don't matter. It's just for publishing purposes. This series is all about a very, very beautiful, canonically, he is the most beautiful person in this manga universe, seemingly, boy, and his, not really obsession, but the constant presence of love and romantic interest in his life. He, because he's so beautiful, gets confessed to by so many people. So many of them he's never spoken to before. Many of them, when they confess to him, that's his first time seeing them. And he really doesn't like that. He doesn't understand why people who have never even spoken to him would confess their feelings to him. He kind of struggles with turning down people politely. Himself, though, he is very, very quick to fall in love, but he's also very quick to fall out of love. So he almost always has somebody in his life that he has feelings for. And one thing I find interesting about this series in particular is that even though he almost always has an object of affection, he isn't always planning on making them his boyfriend, per se. He just enjoys having feelings for people sometimes. He likes kind of staying up at night thinking about what he'll say to them the next time he sees them, working up the courage to talk to them, and then saying like, nice weather today, huh? And then kind of running away. So it's really, really cute. He doesn't really put his expectations on anybody. He understands his feelings are his own and he's responsible for them. And we watch him as he does things. He is portrayed to be a little bit awkward in that he'll say the wrong thing at the wrong time sometimes. But who isn't awkward? Who doesn't say something kind of weird sometimes, you know? So personally, I did really like this one. I will be continuing it. I would like to add it to my collection if I could. This is a slice of life. I didn't say that before. This is a slice of life romance series. Personally, I find it to be more of the like slow everyday living slice of life versus romance. And typically, I'm not a big fan of slice of life, but this one was just really charming, specifically because he gets up in his head so much about all of the people he has feelings for. I was a little bit worried that it would be the kind of story that I personally see a lot where a character has feelings for somebody else and they think about it all the time and they create a relationship in their head. And then when the relationship either doesn't happen at all or doesn't happen the way they thought it would in their head, they then lash out and make it the other person's problem. I find that to be stressful. I don't like that. That's not how this one happened. We see Atami-kun, he could be a role model. Like, it doesn't matter that he falls in love and out of love so quickly. He's a really good person. He understands that he's in charge of his feelings. And like, even if he likes somebody, he confesses to them and they say, sorry, I'm not interested. He can move on really, really quickly. He understands, okay, I shot my shot and now it's over. The world still turns, the world spins, the buses still come, the school bell still rings, you know? And it's just really nice. So I would recommend this one. It is a BL one, but even if you're not into BL, I think you would still like this one just because it's more so about his everyday life, how he lives, rather than like big romance. I feel like the romance in this one is more on the back burner. Here is the next one. This is Aria of the Beech Forest Volume 2. This one is also borrowed from the library. This is a, from what I can tell, josei, slice of life fantasy series. And there are only 3 volumes, and I think it's complete at 3. I'm a little bit worried because I don't know how it's going to finish in just one more volume, but there we go. The plot is rather simple. We follow this redheaded girl here. Her name is Aria. She is a witch, and she lives in seclusion in very rural Ireland in the woods. She lives in this cute little treehouse. She goes about her life. She has a mysterious talking wolf companion, and the two of them live in the woods together. Aria is so content just living in the woods. She doesn't really feel the need to talk to other people or to explore the human world. She's happy with what she knows. Until one day, you can see the girl here, some humans stumble upon Aria and her witchy little forest area, and then their worlds kind of collide. This is a very, very, like, there's no stakes in this one. It's a very slice of life. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the coziest story. Like, if you were to ask me to recommend a cozy series, I don't think I would recommend this one. But it is a very nice slice of life where we just kind of follow Aria. She chills and she does stuff. Personally, I didn't enjoy this one enough to buy it and add it to my collection. But I did enjoy it enough that I will be borrowing volume 3 from the library whenever it comes in. I already have it on pre-order. And yeah, I don't have all that much to say about it. It's a cute slice of life series. There is like the tiniest tidbit of mystery, just enough to keep the plot interesting in my opinion, but not interesting enough, again, that I would add it to my collection, unfortunately. But it is still fun. It's a very fun series. I want to do my Englishes all together. Next one. Okay, there's 2 that I didn't love in a row. Next one is this one, the Ayakashi Hunter's Tainted Bride. I was a little bit disappointed by this one, but we'll get into it. This is a shoujo from what I can tell. And everything I look up on Simoa, which is why I say from what I can tell. I don't want to be like, it is absolutely shoujo, but from what I can tell from where I searched, this is a shoujo series, so targeted towards younger women. This is a fantasy romance series. It's a Cinderella retelling story. This one has 10 volumes in Japanese and will soon have 7 in English. So this story is about Nanao is born into a well-known clan, I'll say. And in this clan, or in this manga world in general, all women are born with an inherent dark power, versus all of the men are born with inherent light power. They have to go together to balance each other out and do stuff and blah, blah, blah. In this series, Nanao is born with so much power, ridiculous amounts of power. So naturally, she is set to be engaged to the next head of the family. To me, it felt like they're distant cousins, which was kind of icky, but it doesn't say that they're related at all. But still, like, it's the clan. I don't put that aside. One day, unfortunately, things happen. I'm not going to spoil anything, like all that many details, but one day, unfortunately, she is attacked by an Ayakashi, or a malvoyant creature, and it leaves a mark on her forehead, which leaves a smell. When her family finds her, at first they're very much like, oh my God, Nanao, are you okay? Let's get you back in. Until they see and smell that she was attacked by an Ayakashi. And then from then on, they start calling her tainted, disgusting. What a waste. You were born with so much power, but you're tainted. We can't do anything with you. Disgusting. So naturally, her engagement, he's not on the cover, her engagement to the heir of the family was cut off. And instead, her cousin is now set to be engaged to the head of the family, the next head of the family. And she is forced to wear this monkey mask and basically be a servant that people can throw rocks at, no problem. She's not allowed to speak, not allowed to show anybody her face, not allowed to live near anybody. So she lives in absolute seclusion and is basically tortured for a long time because she was attacked. Like, it's stupid. One day, this guy comes into the clan's area. They live in just like, not a box, but they live in like a very big kind of like mini kingdom. So this guy comes into their mini kingdom and basically says like, hey, like, show me around. Let me see the stuff. Secretly, he's looking for a bride, but he doesn't want them to know that. And they show him around the stuff. And obviously they don't show them the tainted one in their family. They just show him all the good stuff. But eventually, of course, he finds her and swoops her off her feet and takes her away, basically. So he saves her from her abusive family. Is that all happens in the first chapter, okay? I'm not spoiling anything big. The reason I don't like it will be a spoiler. So I had a lot of hopes for this one, so I'm a little bit disappointed. I typically do like a Cinderella story because I'm a huge fan of revenge. I love a good revenge story. I love it when a character is mistreated and then saved, and then the person that saved them helps them to grow and then take revenge on the people that tormented them. I love that. But in order to do that, the person that saves them has to be a good person, has to have no ulterior motives for saving them. And he has ulterior motives for saving her. There's a big twist. I'm not going to say what the twist is, but there's a big twist towards the end of the series, or the end of this volume, that I was like, why would you add that? There's so many ways the story could have gone, and it went there. And I don't know why it went there, but it did go there. And I didn't like that. So, yeah, I don't know if there's going to be revenge. The ending kind of felt like there would be something. Like, we absolutely haven't seen the last of the next heir of the family. No doubt in my mind. The cousin probably will come back as well. No doubt in my mind. But Nanao, is portrayed as a character who has absolutely no self-esteem. She's been tortured for years, hasn't been allowed to show her face to anybody. So even though she's beautiful, she doesn't think she is. She's like a shell of who she used to be as a child. So naturally, when she's taken away, brought to her new place of living, like where she's saved basically, you would think that they would do everything in their power to kind of boost her up and make her understand you're actually beautiful, you're loved, like nothing bad will come to you here. And they would help her regain her self-confidence. And that's not what really happens here, at least in my opinion. Like, all she can think about is, I must serve food for my husband. I must be a good wife for my husband. And I hate that. I hate that. And while he does do, I don't want to say a good job, he kind of is like, you don't have to cook for me today, it's okay. She's still like, no, all I'm good for is serving my husband. And I understand why she's like that, because she's been brainwashed. Like, no fault to her at all. But he knows that she's been brainwashed. And he doesn't do enough to help her understand, like, you don't have to do anything like that. Like, you're more free here. You're not totally free, because you still have to do stuff, but you're more free. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be continuing this one, unfortunately, because that twist, that was something. Okay, moving on. Our next, and not final, our next library read is Always a Catch. I'm sorry, I did not enjoy this one. I did DNF this one, so I'm not going to be talking about it all that long. DNF means I did not finish. This is titled Always a Catch, How I Punched My Way into Marrying a Prince. This one has 5 volumes in English. It is a shoujo rom-com, heavy on the com. And I am not saying it's bad, not saying it's good. I'm saying personally, I am ridiculously picky with how the comedy is put into my romance. I'm annoying about it. I know I am, but that's just who I am. What can I do? I did not like the comedy in this one at all. It did not hit for me. So I took a chance on it. It's a library burrow. It's okay. Was not for me. This series is about, from what I read until I dropped it, unfortunately, we have Maria, our female lead, who grew up as the potential heir to her family because she was the strongest, most capable out of all of her sisters. So she was raised as a boy, basically, until a son was born into her family. And then she was told, actually, you're not going to be the heir anymore. Go find a husband, even though you're not ladylike whatsoever. And she tried to find a husband in her own home country. She was too manly. not ladylike enough for any of the men in her country, so she had to go to another country to try and find a husband there. Even though she's an aristocratic daughter, she's beautiful, too manly. So she goes to her neighboring kingdom. She is housed by her cousin, who is engaged to the prince. He is a prince. Yes, he is a prince. On the cover, this is just chapter 1, so not really spoilers, but her cousin's fiance is him. And that's her. Why are they so close? I'll tell you why they're so close. So she goes, her cousin is like beauty and grace and amazing and so poised, and she's taking care of her very loud, not ladylike Maria. And then one day, the two of them go to like the market or like the street or whatever, trying to find Maria a husband, when the prince comes up to them. So it's Maria and the prince's fiance, who's not on the cover, Maria's cousin. Prince goes up to Maria and says, "You're awful. I'm gonna break off our engagement. I don't like you." But he's saying that to Maria, who doesn't know him, not his actual fiance, the cousin, who's not in the picture. And Maria's like, huh? And then so public breaking off of the engagement, super embarrassing. What are you doing? And then it's revealed that he only did that because his brother's in love with the cousin, his ex-fiance now, and he needed a way to break off the engagement. Also, he's in love with Maria now. I think it's cool that you're super strong. Will you marry me? And that's what happens in the first chapter. And it just wasn't for me. It is cute. Like, when I think about the premise, I laugh because, like, yeah, that's funny. Like, I get it. Like, it's so out there. But when I read it, I'm like, I just don't like it. I'm sorry. So, yeah, I just don't love the fact that her being depicted as being very strong means that she can't find a husband. Because what do you mean? That's cool, you know? So I don't love that. And then also, why is she marrying her cousin's ex-fiance? I get he's a prince, but like, can you really not find any men that you have to marry him? I don't know if they get married, but he, like, that's seems like where the story is going. So yeah, it just wasn't for me, and that's okay. Okay, the next library borrow, my last library borrow that I read last week, is Skip and Loafer. This is a seinen, so for older men, romance slice of life series. There are 12 volumes total, both in English and Japanese. So I don't know if it's finished, because if I don't want to check just in case of spoilers, you know, but 12 volumes in both. I really like this one, just to preface. This series is about, we have Mitsumi, who, that's this girl here, Mitsumi, who moves from like the burbs of Japan to Tokyo for high school. She's very, very bright. She was the top in her class. There were only like 8 people in her class back in the burbs. But so she's so bright, going to Tokyo, has her life planned out. She is very, very like one-track minded. She knows what she wants. She's a little bit awkward, but the awkwardness comes off as endearing, but still she's a little bit awkward. So she goes to Tokyo, where everybody understands, like, yeah, she's from the country and she's kind of weird. But she quickly makes friends with this boy here, and we learn about their school life together. Even though they're kind of, like, they don't seem like they fit together, like, she's a little bit strange. And he is very, very popular, very handsome, very, like, I don't know how to describe it. But he's very, like, chill, maybe. They work really well together. They're very good friends. And it's nice to watch their not even their banter, it's just nice to watch them together. And we learn about her high school life. I feel like I can't really do it justice because it is such a nice series. It talks about friendship and understanding those around you. Don't judge a book by its cover. Like, yeah, she's kind of strange, but it gives her character and it makes her such a fun person to watch. Like, if she was a real person, I would want to be friends with her just because she seems fun. And it's mentioned a lot in this volume that even like a Starbucks coffee tastes better when you drink it with her because she makes the atmosphere delicious. It doesn't say that, but that's how I interpreted it. So she just kind of bumps up the good vibes in the room, I guess. So I really liked this. I found it to be a mature way of describing various relationships you go through in high school. Not everybody is as nice as they seem, but again, not everybody is as mean as they may seem. So I just really liked it. It's a very good slice of life series. This is probably my top slice of life out of everything I read last week. I read a lot of slice of lives. And it's very good. I would like to buy this one if I can find it. I do not have a budget for buying books right now, hence I borrowed a lot from the library, but that's okay. And then my last English read of the week is not a library borrow, okay? I splurged. Was volume 2 of Blue Period. There are 17 volumes in this one. I don't know if it's complete, and I will not check because I refuse to spoil this one for myself. This is a seinen, kind of slice of life, a little tiny bit dramatic, but maybe not really, series about the importance of following your dreams and trying your best. I love this series so much. So much. This is very, very good. You can't see it, but I also bought volume 3 because it's very good, even though I do not have the budget for it. This series is about, we follow our boy who is not on the cover this time, Yatora, as he is kind of bored with life. Although he's good at everything he puts his mind to and actually puts in effort towards achieving, he doesn't actually enjoy doing anything. So he'll enjoy the overall feeling of putting his mind to a task and then completing that task. But it's kind of like, why am I even doing this if I don't really like it, you know? Even watching sports with his friends. It's fun, but it's kind of meaningless. He wants meaning in his life. And he's kind of just going through the motions until he discovers art. And then his mind opens, his life opens, everything changes, and he decides to give it his all to become an artist. And the first step to becoming an artist is to be getting accepted into art school, which is not cheap. And that is the overall premise of the story. Volume 2 was just as good as Volume 1, though I will say I was a little bit unhappy with where the parents' route went, because in Volume 1, it was made to seem like his parents were very he's passionate about it. I guess we have no choice but to accept the fact that he wants to do this and support him. Volume 2 is not like that. Volume 2 is you can go to adult classes after normal university classes because you're not going to university to study art. That's a waste of money. So it seems like there's kind of a disconnect. I don't know what happened between Volume 1 and Volume 2. But besides that, I still did really enjoy Volume 2. We learned quite a bit more about all of the characters that have already been introduced. Specifically one kind of awkward boy. He is, I'll say, he's kind of like Yatora's rival, rival in art. And it was really nice to see not everything is all peachy. Not everything's peachy. There is a little bit of strife. Not everybody is as welcoming as you might want them to be, but that's life. And we see him as he struggles to get better and better. He goes through, I'll say the majority of this is spent in cram school for art. I don't think we have that in Canada, at least. We don't have that in my city, but they have that here. And it's cram school to help you get prepared to take the entrance exam for the actual art school. So he's putting his all into it in this volume, and it's really, really good. Okay, I only read 2 Japanese physicals last week. That's because I sampled a lot of digitals, okay? I'm not being lazy with my Japanese reads. My first one was a little bit disappointing, but I'll talk about why. I have high standards today. This one is called Kimi o Hitori ni shite Agenai. This is a KC policy series. It is a shoujo high school romance series. This series follows a girl who kind of doesn't really want to make friends all that much. She kind of just wants to stick to her own devices and do what she needs to do to graduate. But if she sees somebody in trouble, she can't help but help them. But even then, she's kind of awkward because she doesn't know how to deal with other people. So even though she'll help, sometimes she makes things worse with others. It's hard for her to interact with other people. One day at school, in high school, this mysterious boy, who she actually knew since they were very young children, he moved away, they reunited here, comes to school and is obsessed with her because she was his first and really only true friend back in like kindergarten, I think. So he will not let her be alone, and she's kind of like, oh my God, you're too close to me. And that is what this one is about. So I did overall enjoy it. I overall enjoyed the story, but my complaints, okay, because I'm going to complain. I'm complaining a lot today. This needed to be longer than 2 volumes. In this volume alone, we're introduced to who I could only assume was a love rival, and then just nothing came of him. So why was he introduced in the first place? I really don't understand, because he was introduced so much. He was a rival character. There's nothing else that he could have been. And they did nothing with him. And then on top of that, my biggest, it made me like kind of angry, because I was putting myself in her shoes. I was angry while I was reading it. Her, him, and the rival, the 3 of them, go to an escape room. I like escape rooms. Okay, I go to them sometimes with my friends. And they kidnap her. The escape room employees kidnap her. She's the princess. And just plop her at the exit. And the 2 boys have to work together as they're handcuffed together to find the princess. If I was the girl and I paid to attend an escape room, and I was just forced to sit at the end while everybody else played to get to me, I would ask for a refund. I would not be happy. That's kind of sexist. What the heck? So I didn't love that. But it was fun watching the 2 boys, because they really don't like each other, because they're rivals in love, but then I guess not also, as they fought to get to the end. That was fun. So there were fun bits and pieces here. Just, it was not developed enough at all. She also makes her first female friend in this volume. Again, why? Because she didn't do all that much. It feels like she was introduced and was going to be more of a prominent character as the story went on, but then the story didn't go on. It ended. So I'm a little bit sad about how everything ended. Like, there's so many loose ends, and I was pretty bummed, because I was really enjoying the series. I liked volume 1 a lot. I had high hopes for it. I wonder if it got canceled or something, because I loved the first half of this volume, and then it just kind of ended, which was sad. I have 2 more. I forgot about one, and I felt bad about it. Next one is Sono Kao de Aisanaide. This is a josei toxic romance / drama series. There are 3 volumes to this one, and it is a Casey Kiss series. This series is very good. This series follows, we have our female lead, Nora, as she is a maid who is secretly in a relationship with the young master of her house. One day they decide, like, we're so in love, I want to get married. We need to tell the parents, the young master's parents. So the young master goes, okay, I'm going to go tell them. Gets on a carriage to tell them, tragically passes away in an accident. Nobody knew they were in a relationship, though. So Nora, devastated. At the funeral, though, Nora is really the only one that seems to be sad, like in any capacity. So it's kind of strange. It's not really known how anybody else was actually feeling about the young master. Except this man, who has the exact face as the young master, makes an appearance. So much so that Nora thinks he's a ghost. The ghost of her now ex-fiancé. Turns out he had a secret twin that nobody knew about. Whoops. And now he's here to take the place of her ex-fiancé. And he hates the family, hates them so much, hates the fact that they didn't care about his brother really at all, and hates the fact that they asked him to replace his brother, basically. The family was saying things like, it's so good that you look the exact same, you'll be a perfect fit-in for our old son. And he's like, what are you talking about? I hate that. So he's very upset, she's very upset. He proposes an idea to Nora in that, I'll pretend to be your old fiancé for you. I have his face after all. And then they get into a relationship like that where she just kind of imagines him as her old fiance. And though they have the same face, that's all they share in common. Could not be any different personality-wise at all. So she really struggles with her grief because he has her old fiance's face and diary. So he will say things to her that are the things her ex-fiance either did say or more than likely would have said. And she will trip out because how are you saying those things? Because he has his diary and she doesn't know. So it makes things a lot harder for her. And that's what it's about. I really like this one. I like a good toxic romance. This one is very interesting. Volume 2, we get a lot more character progression, a lot of plot progression. They are plotting so much. They both hate the family so much. So much is happening. It's very, very good. And I don't want to spoil anything because it's crazy and I think everybody should read it. And this deserves an official English print because it's crazy and it's good. And a lot happens. Specifically, I don't want to spoil it, but specifically, the ending of this one, we're introduced to a new character who says something surprising that changes potentially how her entire relationship with her ex-fiance was. I'll say that. And it is like mind-blowing what actually happened. Oh my goodness. And it's crazy and it's very, very good. Okay, last read is this one here. This is Amelia no Koukiteki romance, volume 1. There are 2 volumes out right now. I only have volume 1. And it's so good. I should have bought the second volume when I bought the first volume. But this is a KC dessert series. It is a shoujo high school romance series. It's fantastic. This one follows. We have Amelia, who is a transfer student at a new high school. She is beautiful. People think that her family is kind of rich, very fashionable. So she is very popular from the get-go. She doesn't really have any difficulties making friends or fitting in. One day, she meets this boy, Haruka. I'm fairly certain his name is Haruka. This boy, Haruka, as he is getting broken up with publicly in front of a lot of people. She asks her new friends, hey, what's up with that very handsome guy getting slapped in the face? And her friends tell him, that's Haruka. Stay away from him, probably, because he is infamous. He's kind of a playboy. He has tattoos. He hangs out in the red light district. Oh my God. So he has so many rumors about him spreading everywhere. Amiri thinks, you know what? Even if none of them are true, he's probably a little bit dangerous. I'll stay away from him. Next day at school, she's feeling a little bit tired, so she asks to go to the infirmary. And when she gets there, Haruka is having an intimate scene with a different girl than she saw him with the previous day. The different girl leaves without knowing anything. She's oblivious. But Haruka knows that Amiri was watching him with that girl. So he goes over to her to try and tease her when she drops her phone. He picks up the phone and notices it is on the edit this post page of a web novel uploading app or website. I think it's a website. And he discovers her big secret that she didn't want anybody to know whatsoever, which is she writes a rather popular, it's getting popular, reincarnation romance web novel. She loves reincarnation romance so much. And she's very good at writing it. And at first he's like, that's kind of fun. And he tries to give her some criticisms, but she will not have it. He hasn't even read the book. He goes, okay, I bet. And he sits down and he starts reading it, rather earnestly, because he seems to be pretty interested in what's reincarnation? What is this about? And then from there, he begins giving her advice on how he thinks the story could be improved a little bit, specifically with the romance. And eventually he offers to become data for some of the romantic scenes because Amiri has absolutely no experience with romance. He has a lot of experience with romance. So she has difficulty writing. He can help her out. He can give her a couple situations and scenarios. And that's what this one's about. I really, really liked it. I think the romance in this one is very good. And Haruka's character is interesting. I really like him. He is, like, he's playful, he's toxic, he's pretty toxic, but he is also clearly a good character. So it feels like there's some depth behind him. He's rather mysterious. I feel like we're going to be getting quite a bit of backstory to explain why he does what he does, specifically those kind of shady things with random women. I feel like that's going to be explained. I also really like Amelia's character, because while she really likes romance, that's not the only thing about her. She really wants to be a novelist, and she holds the love of writing novels so close to her heart. And that's why she doesn't want anybody in her school to find out that she writes novels, because it's her thing. It's very personal to her. And I found that to be really relatable, because sometimes when you do love something so much, you don't want other people to know about it. You just kind of want it to be your thing. She writes under a pen name, so nobody online knows it's her. So when he finds out her secret, thankfully, he is very, very cool about it. He doesn't tell anybody, and he offers to help her. On top of that, again, the romance. The romance is good. A lot of the times, he will like initiate a kind of romantic scenario. She'll freak out like the teeniest, tiniest bit. And then when it's over, she will instantly whip out her phone and start writing down exactly like step by step what just happened. And he will just watch her write, like so content. He'll watch her write. He's happy to watch her. It's really cute, and I really like it. And I hope this one goes on for a while. And that's everything I read. I am still working on one Japanese light novel, one English light novel. This is the English light novel I'm currently working on. I'm about halfway through. I got distracted with my sampling of my Japanese manga online and whatnot, but I am really enjoying this one. I will say, though, there are 2 volumes of this one, and the way that they're named, you don't know which one came first. So I was at Indigo, and I picked up both of them, and I was like, well, which one do I buy? Because I didn't want to like open them and sample them, because one of them would definitely spoil the other, and I wanted to read it without being spoiled. And if I Googled it, what if a spoiler came up? But thankfully, I bought the right one. Thankfully, all is well in the world, and I am really enjoying this one. The way that the story is told is very interesting, because it's told in interview form and then like fragments of people's memories, and it hops around from perspective to perspective. I think it's interesting. It's not even really a mystery, but it's like a whodunit. I don't know whodunit yet, but I'm looking forward. I'm only like halfway through, so I feel like you shouldn't have an idea of whodunit yet. But I'm enjoying this one so far.